Hey guys, what's going on? I think I've got a lot to talk about today about NateBear's Profit Surge Trader service. So we're going to talk about his PLTR trade, which had over 100% gains for me. I think his official track record for them was documented at 75%, and we're going to talk about how that was, why subscribers are able to do better often than NateBear does, and go from there. So yeah, let's launch right in. So I did this brief email. If you guys are on my email list, you'll have probably seen something very similar to what I'm about to show you. But basically, this was an amazing trade. So PLTR was just this amazing trade that basically went from 0.6 to like $2 or something on these particular options within a day or two. It was really cool. Before I get started, I want to show you what's on their official website, which is what this actually is. So I know a lot of you guys watching this will know what the NateBear Profit Surge Trader strategy and program is. But it's important that people that are just watching this, that are new to the channel, also understand exactly what this is. And I'll leave a link in the description below to where you can find more information about this. I did a full review that I'm keeping updated with like a track record and everything, so it's really cool. And so the basic high-level summary is that every month Nate will find a single ticker that has basically had really good earnings, and we've seen a big gap up because of those earnings. And basically research from all over the world, Harvard, all these big major academic institutions, have shown that the probability when that happens of a continuation is very high, higher than about 80%. And so when you combine Nate's expertise in basically technical analysis, so he turned $37,000 into $2.7 million. When you combine that type of level of expertise with his particular strategy with this proven profit surge after earning surprises, it leads to a really high probability, really awesome strategy. The best that I've seen in over a decade of reviewing and testing and trading these services. So that's a high level overview. Basically the Profit Surge Traders, it's a smart way to cut out the noise and distractions. We basically pick a ticker. So for March it's been PLTR. It had really good earnings in February. I'll show you that in the chart in a few minutes. But basically every Monday we do another trade on PLTR, plus a couple of bonus trades from other tickers that you're also get as like a bonus, which is really cool, all for a super low price for the value that you get. So I'm really excited about this service. I've been trading it for quite a while now, and I want to give you like a deep, in-depth look at this particular trade, just because I think it's a really good example of what Nate does and what you can expect from the service. So he gives you everything from the exact details of the trades, which include the position size, the stop loss, the exit strategy, and he does this all live stream at noon on a Monday, every single Monday, unless there's some crazy holiday, which there has been recently. So it's really cool. I've really enjoyed the service so far, and I know the poll that I did in my Facebook group basically said 36 out of 36 people all have made money using this strategy and following NateBear. And it's really cool. As an added bonus, if you join Profit Surge Trader, and I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can join it today, you can get access to my Discord channel, which basically gives you a community of people 24 hours a day that will help you and talk about what they're doing with those particular strategies. Now, in order to be part of that, you need to be able to submit proof to me via email, and I'll put my email in the description below, that you're actually a member of Profit Surge Trader by NateBear. And then I'll send you an invite and you can join. It's totally worth it. It's like the way to go. We've made more money than Nate has because of the community that I started with that. So we use his trades as like a starting point, and then we use all of our combined sort of group mind kind of thing to make extra money on it. So basic idea, single ticker every month, play it every Monday, usually using short dated option contracts, so typically like 3 to 5 days. Hold time, usually the options are about 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, so you're not talking about zero DTE craziness or anything like that, so pretty good. So that being said, here are the official alerts that I've copied and pasted from NateBear's Profit Surge Trader login. And so I usually show these things once they're closed, because obviously it's not fair to people that don't pay for the service. So I have to wait till these trades close, and then I can show you guys on YouTube what these actually did. And so you can see like on the left here what you can expect. He bought to open 5 PLTR options for expiring at 3:15. $25 calls at $1.11. Now there's a lot of beginners or people that are new to options that come into this, and what I say is if you join the service and you want extra support, again, send me an email and I'll give you some help. So this is the expiration date. These are the expiration prices and their calls. So So strike price is what you'd call this. And I can show you, it's very easy. Anybody in the group can help you get started with options. It's really not a big deal to get going with options. If you have a brokerage account, you can trade these, which is really cool. So basically, if I zoom in here, you can see that PLTR, this is just a summary. During his actual live stream, he gives you much more details, and he gives you the chart that's shown here, but I've blown it up in the next slide that you can see it carefully. So he says PLTR is a March PSU pick. That's profit surge trader. I guess it's weird because I would put a T here, and that might be some confusion. So if I say PST, he says PSU. So I'm getting started with some calls here, 2 weeks out in time. So obviously 15th, this was a week or so ago, so it's only a week to go. But basically, PLTR is a great setup on the 65-minute chart, which I'll share shortly, and he does, and I'll share it with you in a minute. And so the interesting thing was that he uses the 65-minute chart as opposed to the 60-minute, and he breaks up so that there's an equal number of candles in a trading day, which most people don't. Most people use like a round number. And that's something smart that Nate's done. I think it's contributed to that success that took him from $37,000 to $2.7 million in just 4 years of trading like this. So it's really cool. Anyway, this was one day, and then the next... we actually had quite a drop again. I'll show you all this on the charts in real time. And he actually bought more. He averaged down to, 0.57%. So 0.57 as a price. Exact same calls and everything. And he loves doing this. So you should have that in mind, that these things do drop. And it's something I keep telling the people in my private exclusive Discord channel for the service, that you really... This is what you need to keep in mind, is he doesn't mind taking a small drop. He knows the squeeze and the pattern and the trend and everything's there, but often the timing is hard. So he's able to average into these things, which goes against some people's philosophies with trading. But with Nate, this is how it works, and it works well. And I'm not going to change it because I'm doing it too. It's great. So now he was long average 0.84. The cool thing for me is, because I know this tends to happen, it happens almost every week. Not drastically like this. Normally it doesn't go like 40% down. But I waited until, and I got a full entry at 0.6. So when his average was 0.84, mine was actually 0.6. And I saw some people were waiting for 0.55, 0.57, that kind of number. So I say cunningly, but it's kind of also just... pure luck as well, right? It could have ripped and I'd missed the trade. I'm okay not losing, but missing the trade. I'd rather get the best possible price, minimize my risk, and have the best potential upside, which is exactly what happened in this case, and it was phenomenal. So here's what he sent out to the members, and this is something that during the live stream he discusses in real time. He actually draws these lines in real time. He writes the stuff here in real time, and you can see this is the 65-minute chart. These candles are each 65 minutes, which is almost an hour, right? And you can see the pattern here he likes is the constant uptrend with a potential break of this $25 mark here being on the horizon. And so he likes the trend, and it was in this squeeze, which was nice. And so he went into a lot more detail than I'm going to in this, because I can't give away all his secrets, right? So PLTR is a recent earnings winner, and it shows it's consolidating nicely post-earnings with a great 65-minute squeeze. Here's the trading plan, and this is something I want to emphasize in this particular video, is people keep saying that he doesn't give a stop loss. He does give a stop loss. Here it is right here. It says initial entry near $25, stop and a close under $23. So if the stock drops below $23, you want to stop out. And you'll see on my charts, I think I marked that unless I've deleted it for this video, but we'll see. Here's the trade plan. So this is the trade plan, and he talks about it and he gives it out in the alerts. They go to your email. They're in the dashboard. The dashboard is right here. Currently, this would be like where he's live. Here's the thing right here. Here's what I just showed you, and he talks about this as he's doing it. So this shows the actual picks that come up in real time. So there's no fakery here. There's no like, oh, actually, like there's nothing scammy about this or anything like that. So I want to make sure, and I keep trying to prove to people this is a service that they cannot afford not to buy. Like, that is the key. It's like, you're losing money if you're not buying the service as soon as possible if you're an options trader or want to get into options trading, because it's so cheap for what you get. It's really, really phenomenal. So, yeah, let's have a look at some of the other stuff that I wanted to talk about. Let me go back to PowerPoint really quick. So I show my orders as well, by the way, guys. So just in case you're not really believing it. any of this stuff. So this is just a marked up screenshot. I'll show you the actual chart and my actual orders in a minute. So I said here on the 4th here, like I saw that this was actually hitting a line of support. It did actually break that support, which was a bit annoying, but I bought anyway. And so I got in on the 4th of March on PLTR at 0.6, and then I exited 2 days later for over 100% profits. I think this is 120%. But this thing continued that day, and it continued even further the next day, which I'll also show you in a sec. This is the 1 hour chart, by the way, so just so you know. This is a huge gap up. And this is not the first time this has happened. AMD was another good example of something like this. This one was more chilled out than AMD was, though. That was crazy. And so here are the orders, and just copied and pasted them from my broker. So filled at 0.6 on the 4th. This is in Central Time, so this was near the market open, and so bought to open 3rd of March 15th, so 9 days to go until they expire. $25 call strikes, and then filled on just a market. I just marketed out. I probably should have waited because this thing continued up massively. I could have probably 3-4x my money on this instead of just doubling it or so. And you can see that I filled the next morning open. I was kind of thinking that the gap might fill downwards because it gapped up so much. So I wanted to get out fast. So within 30 seconds, I was exiting this thing. Because once you get 100%, that's fine for me. You know, like. But let me show you the actual chart and what actually happened, which is crazy. If I have my trading view open, let's see where we are. By the way, the small position size he's shown there was because I'm putting most of my money into selling options for premium, in particular selling futures. I'll leave a link to thetatraders.com, which is Lance and I's main, basically our main passion at the moment, which is doing selling futures trades for income and for premium. So this is pretty extensive. If you have questions about it, which you probably will if you haven't really sold options, you can contact us, especially Lance down at the bottom here, or just like leave a comment or email me, because I'll put my email in the description below. Basically, this is where I'm putting most of my money at the moment. So I take small positions on buy-side trades with Nate. So I'll slowly build up over time, and I'm sure it'll pay off nicely. I like to keep it to mainly sell side at the moment. So anyway, let's keep going. Where was I? So right here. So yeah, so these are my orders, just to show you actually really take these trades. This is the login to the dashboard that shows that these trades are real. Nate Bear kills it again with 100% gains on PLTR. This is a headline I sent out on, I think last night, which shows basically what I've been saying here. One thing I didn't mention is they have a 365-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. That's insane. Never seen anybody in the industry really do that. And that's because they know it's a really, really, really good service. And I think you'll be basically shocked that nobody actually ever uses that money-back guarantee because they're making money. And that is really surprising to me, because this industry is notorious for churn, which is where subscribers buy a service and then they hate it, or they can't manage it, or they get busy, or they have family problems, or whatever, and they end up just basically, dropping the service. These guys, they offer that 365-day money-back guarantee. If you click on this, and I'll leave this link as well as many others in the description below, you can buy it at the best possible price. I actually got a special price from Nate Bear's team, and it is included in the link at this description, in the description below, right at this link here, and also throughout my full review article. So like I mentioned, I'm doing a full review article on Nate Bear Profit Surge Trader. This is Nate right here, and as you can see, this is an extensive review, and basically as long as you click on any of the links here, you'll get the best possible prices out there. I made sure of that. I've even interviewed Nate and spoken to all of his team to make sure that this thing is really legit, and it really is what it seems to be, and it totally is. So definitely check this out. Some huge winners in here. I did this interview, definitely worth checking out on this page. Again, this will all be in the description below. It's just finding it because there'll be so many links, but it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. So check it out. If you look down through here, for some reason my blog has put a line through here, but there is a study here. I think it's from Harvard, that you can go and check out and see that this strategy is proven. This is not just nonsense, not just some made-up technical nonsense that people do sometimes. Here's some of my results. I've tried to keep up with this, but it's hard, especially with all the bonus trades. So you can go through all these, look them all up, check them out, backtest them, see what you think. He loves the woodpecker pattern. That's this one right here. You'll see a lot of those in the thing. So basically my point is, like, I'm trying to give you everything you need in order to say, hey, this is a legitimate service. Here's all the screenshots. Here's Russell's screenshots of his results. Here's video after video showing that people are making money. Here's a poll that shows you that people are making money. I even asked the lawyers in the the team to give me the results for this particular service. So definitely check this out. It's $179 at the moment, which is insane. It's the best deal you'll get out there. I think it's definitely worth your time. Here's the money back guarantee. Definitely worth checking out. I have so many testimonials from people saying the service is amazing. Here's just a handful of them. You can go and check them out on the site. I'm not going to go through them all right now, but you can get the idea. This article is worth checking out if you're at all interested in Nate Bear Profit Surge Traders review. So definitely check it all out. All right, let's get into some trading details. We've talked about the service, so I'll close that. And we've talked about the email that I sent out, which has turned into this blog post, so you can go through that as well. There's more testimonials in here. Let's a quick peek at these. So, Ed Bab is saying, PST continues to be amazing. I was at work, I saw an 80% profit with PLTR, so you can do this when you're working. It's amazing. Nate Bear is simply amazing, he says. I think PSL is a service. I think PST, but PSU, PST, PSL, Profit Surge Trader is the name of the service. So I've looked at and getting results, let the good times roll. Cakeinator made $1,308 from the PLTR trades, which is 120% returns, so she must have used a bit more capital than I did. I should really be using more. Given that I'm using a $100,000 account, I should probably be putting more into these trades. But yeah, so not bad, a $500 account. So she started with $500 just as her account, and now it's at like $1,800, I think. So that would be, at least this guy, Knee Block, also started with $500. So you can start this with tiny amounts of money, and it's now $1,800 in just 3 weeks. Steep learning curve and loving the journey and learning journey, and so that's true. $500 is probably, I wouldn't recommend starting with that. That's a small amount, one losing trade, and there will be losing trades even though the last 10 in a row or something have been winners. That's still going to be hard to recover from if you take an initial big loss. So be careful with these testimonials. So just want to say I haven't verified these testimonials. I take these people at their words. They're well-known acquaintances of mine in my Discords and things. So I'm assuming none of this is made up, just for that. Gus says he's impressed on the previous experience that he's had because compared to other experts, so far 9 trades he's taken and all have been winners. So definitely check this article out as well. It's got some information like that in it. Okay, let's get into the trade details on TradingView. So this is where it all starts. PLTR is a ticker. You can see up the top left here. This is the 1 hour chart. You can see that there's an earnings sign right here, which means there was earnings on this date. Boom, all the way up to here. Surprisingly good earnings. People bought this thing up like it was hot potatoes. And so this was February. So, 6th of February. So not recent earnings. And then we had this like real run after it. So you really want to catch that and catch it early, right? You get that big move. Doesn't always do that though. Sometimes it kind of just flounders and then takes off slowly. If you look at these on longer time frames like dailies, you'll see them running for weeks and months sometimes. But the timing to get in and out is the hard part, because you might get shaken out on a dip here, and then you get this run up and it ends up here. So that's really why you need Nate, right? It's not enough just to be able to spot earnings winners. You have to have Nate's expertise with his particular TPS strategy, and I talk about that in other videos, where you can basically get these entries and exits where you can play these over and over again and actually get a bigger gain than if you just bought it. So if you just bought it here and then sold it here, if you use the Profit Surge Trader strategy, you can actually get bigger compounded gains, right? You can get this gain, and then you can get this gain, and then you can get this gain, all with bigger size, so you end up with more money overall, if that makes sense. So anywho, let's skip forward in time. This is what I'm talking about right here. Let's move this. Again, this is the 1 hour chart. So this is the 4th. This is when Nate bought. Actually, Nate bought up on here on the 1st, right? And so over the weekend, it dropped on Monday. And this is where I bought it. And I showed you that slide earlier. So Nate bought here. And we had this really opportunistic gap down. into this region, and it still went down even more. And this thing I want to add here that this is unusual. If you're a member of something like Bullseye Trades or one of these other services, often when the guru buys, this thing will just take off straight away. That's not the case with Nate Bear. It usually drops. And so it really gives people a time where like you're busy at work or whatever to get in at as good, if not better price than Nate. Not always, but quite a lot of the time, which is really nice. So people were gobbling this up all the way down here. And then this thing just gapped up and just kept going all the way. And today is the 7th, so you can see like March 7th up here on the hourly. It hit $27 up here from Nate's original 25-ish. So you can see this huge move. I got out somewhere on this spike. I'm not sure exactly where because I marketed out as fast as possible because I was down. I was down a little bit because I got in here, but you know, it kind of dropped and it was breaking some support lines and things. I'll try and zoom out. Maybe I can show you some of those. So I'd kind of drawn in some support and resistance lines and things because I like to keep an eye on these trades myself and not just rely on like the guru, right? You want to take responsibility and learn to fish a little bit. And even though I've been trading for a long time, I'm not the best trader. And so this is what I'd drawn in. It looked like this. And of course you have your wedge that comes in like this. Not precise, but there you go. And so I could see that every time we had this bounce, you know, so that's why I bought here. That's what I thought was a good buy. It did actually break it a little bit, so that had me a little nervous there, but I knew that from his stop loss, I knew that the stop loss was still 23, and that's a close below $23, which is down here. So I was prepared to stop out down here. But the thing that kept me going and in terms of holding this, and I don't know what your guys' thought processes are with these things. This is just kind of mine, necessarily not particularly, good. I have been trading a long time, but I don't consider myself a very good trader. You can see that basically every time we've had a drop with PLTR, it's kind of based and then popped. And then based and popped. It has this like kind of square kind of thing. It's something Nate talks about as symmetry with trading. And like, again, this is like, it kind of went down and then it based. And I'm like, okay, this is basing. And I actually said in my Discord, I think this thing is going to recover this line and continue up. What I didn't expect was such a huge gap. And it broke up right through the upper level as well. So I was really happy with that. So it's kind of my thought process here, even though it was down just a tiny bit. It wasn't much, like 40 bucks or something. I was down here. It wasn't worrying me at all. In fact, if I'd had a chance, I would have probably added, especially if it recovered here, but without such a strong move. But unfortunately, I would have still made out if I'd done that because this thing just kept going up after that. So really good. So hopefully on Monday we'll be playing this again. But it doesn't always happen on the day of the profit surge trade alert, right? Sometimes we set a bid, for a lower price so that we're looking for a bounce or whatever. So there's more to it than just maybe that I'm talking about here. So. Yeah, so fantastic trade again. This is like another huge winner. Just making sure I've covered everything here. I wanted to show you his exit just to prove that he really does write these things out. So we actually did do some other calls on PLTR. I didn't want to complicate the fact with those. I took those as well. I made some money on them as well. But here you can see he says I'm taking profit. This is March 6th, 3:15 calls. This is expiration date again. He made 75%. Most people made more than 75%. Nate actually was in a bit high. So a lot of people waited like I did and got in a bit lower. He had a bigger position size though, so it's fine. So yeah, pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So that's that. All these links will be in the description below. I highly, highly recommend checking them out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll talk to you soon.